Welcome. This is the Central Florida Computer Society, CFCS, and the Windows Special Interest Group, known as the WinSIG. This is Sunday, April 10th, 2022, and I welcome everybody today. Thanks for being here. We've got a nice sized crowd today, and I'm sure it will grow some. I'm glad you made it. Some of you may have read in the Windows SIG newsletter that I sent out. We were going to have a hybrid meeting, and I was mistaken. I hope nobody showed up at the meeting today at the American Legion. I think there was only a couple of people last month, and that's why Stan decided to wait maybe a few more months until some people in Orlando are ready. But I've noticed as I look around the room here, I look around online, there aren't a lot of you in Orlando, including me. I'm in Bradenton. I'm 120 miles from Orlando, but I've been doing this Windows SIG for the 7 years since I moved from the Orlando area, and I did it a whole bunch more years before then. And then I think I took a hiatus for a little while. Mike Ungerman, who's on here now, I think took it over back when it was the DOS SIG for a year or two, and I think somebody else did too for a while. Then I came back. So I've probably been doing it 15, 20 years anyway. It's very nonchalant. It's somewhat structured to the point where I have a list of things that I'm going to cover, which doesn't matter whether I cover them or not, but you've got the list that you can go back. I have links. They are articles that I find in the past month about Windows and about computers in general. And I just go down the list one by one, and we look them over, and we get into some side discussions and so on. It's loosely put together. You're free to ask questions as we go along, make comments. Just try to stay on topic. We don't talk politics or religion, but we do talk computer. And if you have questions, if you have some issues, you have some things that you want to bring up, by all means do it. If we can't get to them, or we might not have the answers here, we'll try to help you out and try to figure out where you can get the answers, or maybe by next month do it. If I can remember to do it, the best thing to do is send me an email. Don't always answer them, but I usually read them. So if it's something for next month, it helps me. Let's go ahead and share my screen and minimize this so I can use it to close out with later. And let's see, I am going to bring up my browser, and I'm going to come here, and I'm going to go to huey.net, which is where all of my items are. I'm going to make this almost full screen. The reason I've got some menus that you don't see, and I've got my center cam sitting right in the middle of everything. And sometimes it blocks some of the information that I need. So we'll make this bigger. And I go to the WinSIG, and you'll notice here's the items for today that we're going to cover. And then the items from last month are here. And then just below that is the recording of last month's. I finally got it up a couple of days ago. So if you've been checking to see if it was there, it's there now. That's for the March 13th meeting. That recording is here. The main meeting recording has not been completed. I'll have that up. I'll try to get that on the CFCS YouTube channel. And then
we're just seeing you. We're not seeing your screen.
I am. Yep.
Okay. Must be me. Sorry.
Yep. Not sure why, but I'm sure you'll figure it out, Dick. Yeah, I'm showing it. So anyway, here are the items for today. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. Let me move a couple of things out of the way. I'm going to try something a little bit newer, a little bit different today. I haven't used this in a while, but let me see if this works. I got it here. So if I go like, come on, that's supposed to work. There we go. This is going to be the first article I'm going to try. or take a look at. Let me erase the arrow and we'll click it. And I forgot to turn that program off. So I have a little button that I have to push. Now I can do it. And here is the article, and we're going to bring it up in. Okay, why isn't that working now? It was working earlier. Oh, it's going round and round. There we go. Why is my computer running slow? I have no idea. And we'll make this 130% to make it a little bit bigger. And this article is Windows 11 newest security feature requires a full reset. I started reading this article and I said, oh my God, I can't believe this. Windows 11 newest security feature comes with a string in the tail. If you've upgraded to the newest version of Microsoft's operating system, rather than bought a new PC with it installed, you'll need to reset it if you want the smart app control. The news broke in a blog post from David Weston, Vice President of Operating System Security and Enterprise at Microsoft, subsequently reported on by PC World. I guess this was a PC World article. In a future release of Windows 11, you're going to see significant security updates that add even more protection from the chip to the cloud by combining modern hardware and software, writes Weston in his post, which sounds fine, as enhanced security was one of the reasons we have Windows 11 in the first place. One of the major enhancements is Smart App Control, which appeared in a recent Windows 11 Insider build and blocks malicious, untrusted, and potentially unwanted apps. The first set are flagged by Microsoft, but the smart part of the system kicks in for others, taking into account digital signatures, app usage, and Microsoft's cloud-based security service. There doesn't seem to be a way of whitelisting apps or unblocking them in any way once they're blocked. Well, that's scary. It also acts in a new and strange way, according to German news site GHacks. Once installed, Smart App Control enters evaluation mode, learning whether it can assist you, but not blocking anything until it automatically turns on. It can be manually turned on and off from the Windows security app. The strange thing is that if turned off, it cannot be turned back on without a full reset of the PC and a clean install of Windows 11. Ouch. The need for a clean installation if you want Smart App Control on your existing Windows 11 PC is detailed in Weston's blog post. Devices running previous versions of Windows 11 will have to be reset and have a clean installation of Windows 11 to take advantage of this feature. Boy, that doesn't make any sense to me at all, why they would do that. Microsoft Security Splurge is dressed in the language of hybrid working and zero trust as the Redmond software giant attempts to push its Pluton platform. Smart App Control and the promotion of Microsoft Smart Screen to a part of the OS instead of a security app is part of a drive to protect critical business machines used at home from phishing, ransomware, and other unwanted nasties. And it's up to company IT departments to decide whether to deploy it. Home users with Microsoft Defender switched on are unlikely to need it urgently. So the need for a clean install, while annoying, might not affect users after all. That sentence is very important. So let me go here and show you this sentence right here. And let me box it in here if I can remember how to do that. So you may not have to worry about it. So you got to read the whole article to figure that out. That's
It was
what
meant for business machines and business.
Yeah,
computers.
Basically business machines it's going to be.
Correct.
But the article makes it, I was
It
reading.
is still cumbersome for
Yeah.
the business.
Yeah, I'm reading this and I'm saying, oh no.
Yep.
All these people are going to have to reset and start over again.
No.
But as it says, no. So thank you, Bob, for agreeing with me. It looks like we don't have to worry about it. So if you read about this, you're going to be able to tell people, don't be scared about it. It doesn't affect you. The next article is a major Windows 11 update takes stride towards the holy grail of security. This kind of goes along with what I just read. Let's go ahead and do this. I should have rebooted today. I didn't. Tech Radar, let's see, this is just part of their article, or not part of the article. Microsoft has lifted the lid on a wealth of Windows 11 updates that it hopes will alleviate common headaches for IT professionals. Again, IT professionals. As announced as part of the company's Windows Power of the Future hybrid work event, the new features equip Microsoft's operating system with additional cybersecurity to shield users against phishing and malware attacks. So again, they're saying that, yeah, this is more for the businesses, not for us. And so this article just kind of talks about that. Microsoft's Your Phone app gets a name change and a makeover. I'm not going to talk about this today. I'm just going to tell you, please come to the Tech for Seniors meeting tomorrow, because I am going to talk about it tomorrow. I am just finishing up my video on it. I hit the wrong thing here. We'll do this. Come on. I hit a wrong button and now I got to backtrack myself. There we go. And I'm going to be talking about the Your Phone is now called Phone Link, and I'm going to show you how I use it and how the fact that it works on my computer. My computer, or my phone, I just bought a new phone this week, and it's a Samsung S22 Ultra, and I upgraded from another Samsung. So I was using the Samsung phone with Your Phone app with Windows, and I think I talked about it and even demonstrated it here on a previous Windows SIG meeting. However, I'm going to talk about the new version in detail and show it to you tomorrow, but it only works, I found as I'm working with this and as I'm looking at articles, it only works with Samsung phones, and not all of them, but most of them. Samsung phones, Honor phones, which I'm not familiar with, and the Microsoft Duo. If you have anything else, like an iPhone or any other Android device, the Your Phone, which is now Phone Link, doesn't work.
Not quite.
But there is a way to do it. And I am going to give you the link to somebody who did a video on how to do it with either an iPhone or with another Android phone. So stay tuned tomorrow for the Tech for Senior, and I'm also going to post it on in my YouTube channel. I'll have that video up probably by tomorrow as well. And on that note, I'm going to stop and see if there are any comments, questions.
Needs another name change. They should call it Microsoft Phony Calls.
Yeah. But I'm using it. I love it. You'll see that I can check anything on my phone on my PC. I don't have to get up, get my phone. If my phone rings, I can answer it on my PC, and I can make calls from my PC, and I can answer texts and receive texts and any other notifications, and I can open up any app on my phone on my PC and
And
run it.
it's the opening of the apps that you can't do unless you have a Samsung. I have a Pixel 6. Everything else works, but not
Does it?
the
Okay, good.
apps. Right,
That's good to
not the
know.
apps.
Okay. Yeah, I can actually open up the phone using my mouse and work my
Yeah.
phone. It's really neat. And you'll see it in action tomorrow. Any other questions, comments about any of the other items that I talked about or anything else that came to mind as we were going there? Okay, let's go back and share my screen. Pick up from where we left off. Close this. Windows 11 is getting File Explorer tabs and more new features. I know Bob G is using the beta versions of this, so he may have already played with this.
Nope, it's not there.
It's not there yet?
Nope.
Okay. Isn't that interesting? But
Yep.
it's coming. It's coming. Microsoft has announced new features coming soon to Windows 11 during an event on how Windows will power the future hybrid work. Windows 11 received its first big update in February with improvements for the taskbar, File Explorer, quick settings, and other features, and the your phone changed to phone link somewhere along the way. There's more incremental updates are in the pipeline. Most of the features that Microsoft announced today, and let's see when this article was, April 5th, just 5 days ago, less than a week ago. Okay, so here are some of the new things. Let's bring this up and make this. First, the tabs in File Explorer, this hidden feature in the latest Windows 11 Insider builds, but Microsoft made it official. The File Explorer tabs have been a popular request, and they should really make it easier to multitask. The next item that's coming is contextual suggestions in File Explorer. This feature will suggest relevant content and contact across windows in File Explorer. It's powered by Context IQ, a set of capabilities for Microsoft 365 that Microsoft announced last year. App folders in Start. This one is pretty straightforward, but Windows 11 users will be able to create app folders in the Pins section of the new Start menu. Live captions. Windows 11 is getting a big accessibility feature with system-wide live captions, which will support all audio experiences, including web-based audio sources. We've seen this in Zoom, the ability for it to immediately give us live captions. And I guess this technology now is pervasive enough in the industry that they're going to be able to put it in Windows for various things as well. So we're going to see more and more of that, which is really great for those of us who sometimes have difficulty in hearing things. Voiced access. The speech recognition feature will soon allow Windows 11 users to use voice commands to control their devices, switch between apps, enter numbers, text, and more. There have been programs that do that, but they were difficult to learn, and some of them were frankly quite expensive. But I think because of this whole speech thing it looks like they're going to be able to even add it to the operating system. Touch snap layouts. Snap layouts on Windows 11 is made easier to optimize your screen space with Windows snapping, and Microsoft is now working on adding touch snap layouts for touch-enabled devices. Because right now I can come up here. And let's see, let me first get out of this. I come up here and hold my mouse over what was normally the maximize and minimize button, or maximize and standard size. You can now set up your screen to be any kind of combination that you want and put it that way. And if you're not using that in Windows 11, it's a really neat feature. So you don't have to drag it to the side and try to snap it into place, but you're going to be able to do some of that in if you've got a tablet or a touch screen, you're going to be able to do it that way. Let's see here. Next one is intelligent meeting features. Windows 11 will improve the meeting experience with new hardware-dependent features like voice clarity, automatic framing, and portrait background blur. You're going to have some more features and some things to be able to do. Whoops, let's see. That. And of course, there are going to be security improvements, which I just talked about. Microsoft Defender Smart Screen is getting enhanced phishing detection and protection. Smart App Control, which is what I just talked about, will also ensure that only trusted applications can run on a Windows 11 PC. And the last one on here on this list is Windows 365 integration. A new native Windows 365 app is coming to Windows 11, and Windows 365 Switch will also allow users to switch between their cloud PC and a local PC with a single click. So you're going to be able to do a lot of things out on the cloud and then switch back and forth. So it's going to be a lot more cloud computing available for you. Whoops, come on. Too many tools and not enough brains here. Microsoft didn't give a clear estimated time arrival for these new Windows 11 improvements, but the company can now start rolling out new features when they're ready without having to wait for release of Windows 11's next major update, which is expected later this year. Windows 365 actually got a lot of attention at this particular meeting, and you can learn more about what Microsoft is doing to remove barriers between PC and the cloud in a separate post from whatever this was. Can't remember. This is Paul Thurrott and Thurrott.com. Since launching Windows 11, we've seen stronger demand for the highest quality and product satisfaction scores of any version of Windows we've ever shipped. This is the beginning of our team commitment to innovating how Windows can streamline experiences, whether you're returning to the office, working from home, or never left the workplace as a frontline employee, said EVP and Chief Product Officer Panos Panay when this article was written. By the way, I don't know, I'm going to throw a hint at you. Let's say I have, and I do have, my Chrome open. One thing I don't like about Chrome, if I close it, it doesn't come up and prompt me. You want to close it? You got a lot of windows open. But if you do a Control Shift and T and click that, and it should work, and I may not, because that's what it looks like is a control for my pointing device. So I got to turn that off. Hang on one second. Click off. Undo erase. I got to figure out how to shut this thing off now. Close. There we go. Now, if I do a Control Shift T, it brings that back up. All right. I have just found out that program I'm using for arrows, which is called, oh gosh, I can't even remember the name of it now. Epic Pen, EPIC, Epic Pen. It's free, but I paid I think a few dollars to get the full version. But let's go ahead and just open this back up and go to UE.net. So it doesn't work if you're running Epic Pen on your computer, but it's Control Shift and the letter T will bring your last Chrome back up where you're and all of the open tabs that you had. It's really a nice to have.
I think you have to have Chrome open in order to use that command because it works only in Chrome. Shouldn't work in Windows.
You may be correct. Yeah, you open up Chrome first. Yeah.
Right. And then use it.
Let's try that and see. Well, Chrome's open right now. Control Alt T. No, but that other program's interfering with it. But
There is a setting in Chrome that allows it to run in the background when you close it.
Yeah.
So I think if you have Chrome running in the background, that Chrome Control Shift T will work. But if you've actually turned that setting off, then
no, that other because I usually use it, and I just started using this other program and I updated it, and it keeps clicking on instead of Chrome. So anyway, so never mind. Let's see. I talked about the updates. Now Microsoft just made Clipchamp suck a little less. I just thought that was a great title for an article. Obviously, they aren't enthralled with Clipchamp. So let's take a look at what Clipchamp is and what they're talking about. Now, free users can export 1080p videos without paying a dime. Microsoft recently added Clipchamp as a core part of Windows 11, and it didn't take long for everyone to find out that it was aggressively priced. However, the tech giant is keen to make things right and has made some changes to the app to make it more user-friendly. As reported on NeoWin, Microsoft is making Clipchamp more generous towards its users. It doesn't matter if you use it for free or pay for a plan, something good is coming your way the next time you boot up the program. The biggest change is for the free tier. Beforehand, you could only export videos up to 480p, which a lot of users found too low for even the free tier. However, Microsoft has now bumped that up to 1080p, meaning you can export high quality videos for nothing. As you might expect, the paid creators tier, which previously only would export up to 720p, can also do 1080p now. And every single tier now provides an unlimited video exports. So you might want to look that over and talk about it. But what I did is I went and I looked. Let's go ahead and close this. And I went and I said, gee, is MailChimp or Chimp? Is it? It's what's the name of it again?
Clipchamp.
Clipchamp. And there's clipchamp.com. Well, this is another program that Microsoft bought. But if you go to Clipchamp, as you can see, it's now part of Microsoft. You can try it for free. But if you go to the pricing, here's the basic pricing. So for free, you get unlimited video exports and you get 1080p exports, full HD. Now, what is Clipchamp? It is, let's see if this tells you features. What's new? Let's see. I can see what it is first. Well, anyway, it's a video editing program, which Microsoft is now purchased and has released. You can go to Clipchamp and you can actually run it. You can try it for free and you can actually run it on their website, or you can install the program and still have a free version of it. To install it, what you're going to do is you're going to, let's see, minimize this. You're going to come down to the start button and you're going to go to the Play Store. I have moved, or not Play Store, just to Microsoft Play. And I took it off of this, not realizing I could scroll down. So I have to go to the, go to Microsoft M and Microsoft Store. And search for Clipchamp. And actually, when we search for Clipchamp, the old movie maker comes up first, which is still works. But if you want Clipchamp, you click here and you can get it and install it. I don't, because I use something called Camtasia, which is a fairly expensive video editing program, but I've been using it and I don't want to learn another video editing program just to be able to tell you that I know how to use it. So I haven't even installed it, but it's there and you can install it. So if you want a free video editing program from Microsoft, it is available for you.
Is that Windows 11 only, Huey?
I don't believe so. I believe 10 will run it as well.
Okay.
Let's see, system requirements. Let's see if it says. Doesn't say, so I would say no. It was released in 2020. So I would say no, you should be able to use it on Windows 10 as well. And it'll tell you if you can't. So anyway, it's free and you can use it. You can try the online version if you want, take a look at it.
I found it not to be that easy to use.
Yeah, no video editing program is or should be easy to use. If you're doing true video editing, there are some video programs that are fairly easy to use, but they're not really video editors. So this is more on the same thing. I put this in there because I found the article. I'm not going to go through this. I don't quite understand, and I've sat through some really boring sessions at some presentations even a couple of years ago, live presentations that talked about blockchain and what it is, and you hear a lot about it, and I guess the younger people are going to have to know about it. I think this stage in my life, I'm probably not going to have to know a whole bunch more than I know. So I really have kind of resisted, but this is a good article that will kind of explain it and what it means and why it's important and what it does. So it's an article that I posted for your use, and enjoy it. Let's see, 2:00. So we got a little bit of time. Let's take a short break here and see if there's anything. I'm going to take a sip of water. Questions, comments from anybody? Stephen.
Yeah, I love that caption thing that, of course, Zoom is one of the features. But, one addition to that might be to have you open up, say, a Word file and have it capture all of that into a document. I don't think it does that, but that would be a wonderful addition.
That's not true. And let me show you what you can do. Let's go. Let's see. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
It actually does a better job than Zoom does.
What you need to do, though, and Word does it, but you need to use the online version of Word. So you have to go to office.com.
Yeah.
You do have to have a Microsoft account, but if you got Windows, you probably do anyway. Sign into your Microsoft account and you have this. And if I open up Word, I can go to, let's see, a new document. I'm trying to get ahead of myself here. Come on. There we go. I got to stop and think of how I do this. Not hard to do at all. Now I'm running Word from the web, the cloud version. This is not on my computer. This is free. Any of you can use it. I'm not sure if what I'm going to show you is available in the free version. I don't think it is. But if you come over here to where it says dictate and you click the down arrow, one of them is transcribe.
All right.
You click transcribe, you can upload an audio file. All Zoom meetings have audio files. So I am going to go on my PC and I'm going to go to my documents.
Use a sharp one if you can.
I'm going to go to Zoom and I'm going to go to the, let's see, this is today. The Learning Chromebooks is, I'm going to go to Learning Chromebooks. I'm going to look at these files. That is an audio file. It gives you an MP4 and an M4A. The M4A is an audio file. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to say open. It's uploading it to OneDrive. May take a while. I apologize, it shouldn't. I have a fast connection, but we're using a lot of it in Microsoft throttle stuff anyway. But what it does, and while it's doing this, I'll explain what it's doing is uploading that file. Now that file has, what it will do is it'll have each speaker and it identifies each speaker as speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4. And I do this for the board meetings at STUG. And I can go to any place in the transcription. I can go to speaker 1 and I can edit that and change speaker 1 to Marshall. Marshall's online here now. I can change the name to Marshall and there's a box right under it says apply to all speaker 1. And I can do that and it'll change speaker 1's name everywhere is where he speaks to Marshall's name. And so I can do that with each of the people, identify each of the people who are in the text, in the transcription, and there are all their names, and it actually transcribes everything they say. It's great for meeting notes. If you record a board meeting, what I do is I record the board meetings, and then I transcribe it, figure out all of the names, save the file, and then send it to the secretary, and she can go through her notes and look at all over, compare it to what she did, and then make any changes in her secretary's minutes, and she's got everything and it's accurate.
Yeah, that is really cool. So stenographers are no longer going to be needed.
Well, it's not totally accurate, number one, but at the same time, that while it's still in Word, you can listen at the same time as you can see what it's saying and you can correct it.
Yeah. No, that's great. Wow. I'll have to play with that.
Yeah, I'm going to let it run and then let's come back and then we'll see what it looks like in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. All right.
So to answer your question, yeah. The other thing that you can do is in YouTube, you can download any YouTube text and then do the same thing, although it's already text and you can save it. So as an example, I don't know if I can do all of this at once or not, but we'll try it anyway. I'm going to go to YouTube.
You may have to have the professional version of YouTube, the pay version.
I don't pay for it. I do not have a paid version of YouTube.
Okay, well that's really helpful.
So I'm going to go to my channel, but I can go to any channel. I can go to any video. I'm just going to take one of mine, so I don't have to worry about any copyright issues. And let's see, this one's 9. I'm going to try to find something small. Okay, here's a short one here, and it's what I'm going to do is click on it. I don't want to make it, but what I'm going to do is I think it's here. I got to remember how to do this. Show transcript. Just hit the 3 buttons and show transcript. Well, I got a lot of things going on. I got that Word still uploading.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's see. If I go away, folks, it's because my system bombed. Here it comes. Yeah, and there's the transcript.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know that you can. Let's see. I'm not sure if you can download it, but you can highlight it all
Copy and paste.
and then copy and paste.
Yeah.
And so you don't even have to bring it into Word at that point and transcribe it. It's already there's already a transcript of it, but it's all there, and it's by time, and you can save it, I think, and then take the times out if you wanted to. I can't remember. I think there's some editing you can do with that up here too as well. So if you're looking at a video and you want to you don't have to start typing what they're saying, just grab the transcript.
Yeah, I think C-SPAN does that. I wondered how they did that, and I'm sure it's something similar to what you're displaying here.
I'm sure they have a lot of more sophisticated.
I'm sure they do, yes.
Than that. Let's see. Whoops. Let me go back to Word, see how we're coming. Yeah, it's still only 42%. So it's still working. Hopefully by the time we finish, I can show you that.
Okay. Thanks for that.
But yeah, it's a really neat thing, and it's free.
Yeah.
All you have to have is a free Microsoft account, which if you sign into your Windows with your Microsoft account, you got one.
Yeah, I got it.
And so you can use Word, PowerPoint, Excel for nothing. You don't ever have to buy it if you don't want to. You just have to use the online version with your free account.
Well, of course, you have to have internet access while you're using it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can't do it out in the desert or something.
Okay, what's blockchain and how to connect? Okay, let's see what this is. I'm not sure if don't think we covered this. There's some tips, tricks, and features. Oh, this, I think at one time there was a Microsoft tips included in Windows. This looks very much like it. Use Windows 11 like a pro, and this says make your PC more accessible, make text bigger, make text cursor and mouse easier to see. You'll notice that my cursor or my arrow is larger and it's red, and that's something that I went and I changed, and this will tell you how to do it. Simply snap and arrange your apps, quickly organize open apps, and this was what I kind of alluded to earlier. Customize your captions, snap windows side by side, keep your windows protected, backed up, catch up on your news at a glance. So all of these things, and then all you have to do is click and learn how, and it'll tell you how to do all of these things. And so this is real nice, and you'll notice that this is from Microsoft.com. So you can learn these features just by clicking learn how. Manage passwords with Microsoft Edge, and it tells you how to do it. Just one screen. So again, that's a freebie, and you can find that strictly by use Windows 11 like a pro. You all should know how to connect to Wi-Fi on Windows 11. So this article tells you if you don't, you got to get to the internet to get to it. So I suppose you know how to do it. Don't pay for Microsoft Word. 5 reasons to use the Office Online instead. Well, we're using it. I just showed you a 6th reason, but here are some reasons. Office Online is free, which I mentioned. The biggest benefit of Office Online is you can use it without paying. It's the easiest way to get Microsoft Word for free and legally. Traditionally, you had to pay upfront for standalone copy of the latest version of Office, like Office 2021 or Office 2019, and it would cost you $100 or more, around $100. Nowadays, Microsoft wants you to subscribe to Microsoft 365. It's more affordable at $7 or so a month, but the subscription will add up over time. With Office Online, you gain access to the online versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Teams, and Outlook at no cost. Lesser used apps like Microsoft Teams, Forms, and Sway are included in the list of Office online offerings too. There are no online versions for Access and Publisher, however. Try it to sign up to your Microsoft account or sign in with your Microsoft account on office.com and then visit your Office apps page. There you'll see everything that's available and you can jump to any app that you like. Second reason to use the free version is access documents anywhere with cloud storage. So you're storing it with OneDrive, and you're accessing it from the cloud. So as soon as you sign on with any computer, with any device, you go to it and you can find the documents and you can work with them. Yes, you got to be online. And everyone gets 5 gigabytes of free storage with OneDrive. But if you have an Office 365, you get a terabyte of drive space. But if you, of course, then you're paying for Office. So if you don't want to do that, you can pay for extra storage with OneDrive, as you can with the Google Drive or with Dropbox and so on. You can add for a certain amount a month, and it's not expensive because even terabytes of space on cloud and cloud storage is relatively cheap. With OneDrive, with the OneDrive app on your phone, you can easily pull up your documents anywhere you need to edit them in a pinch, and you simply sign on to your Office online on any computer. So you can go online, but you can also download a free version for your phone and connect to your online version of Word and work with Word on your phone. You're going to have an awful small keyboard to do it, but you can do it. And so Office Online is device agnostic. You can access it on any device with a web browser, including Linux and Mac machines. Free Office apps for Android and iPhone let you access Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and even more with similar functionality on mobile. Third reason to do it is easy sharing and collaboration. A lot of people share a document, desktop Office documents with others via email. While this is fine in moderation, it becomes cumbersome to constantly send a document back and forth. And then you get confused on who's got what version and what's the latest version and so on. With Office Online, you can easily click share on a file to send a link to anyone. This means that the menu will let you choose if anyone who has the link can access it, and only people you specify. You can also choose whether others have editing permissions. So they can see it, they could download it, but if you give them permission to, they can also edit it online. So you can be working with somebody and not have to be passing the file back and forth. Office Online also makes collaborating on documents a cinch, whether you want to edit a large paper together or both work on a spreadsheet. Doing so only requires both parties to have the document open. While similar function is available in desktop Office with OneDrive, there are more barriers to entry when using the desktop edition. Fourth reason to use the online Office Online offers a simplified workflow. And you can read about that. Everything is there. Office Online receives feature updates. So when there are feature updates to Office, the online version will get those. You don't have to worry about it. It automatically happens online. In the cloud, it's not your version of it, so you don't have to worry about updating it. Microsoft takes care of it. And so when Microsoft isn't ideal, as we've looked at several reasons why the Office Online is a great service you should take advantage of, particularly compared to the desktop Office. However, it's not perfect. There are some situations where you're better off with another solution. One of the biggest limitations of Office Online is its limited app selection. If you require anything beyond the basics, you'll need the full version of Office, like Access, Visio, Project. Don't have free web versions. After trying Office Online apps, you may also find they lack some features you need. You can't use the web version to run mail merge or execute macros, for example. If you never use those, by all means, use the online version for free. Those require traditional Microsoft Office. See some ways to get an Office license for free or pick up a cheap Office license if you need to upgrade. Another, and there's some links there in this article. Another serious limitation of Office Online is writing the name. You need to have an internet connection to use it. For those who often travel without internet access, Office Online won't be reliable enough. If that's the case, you can try free online, Office alternative and check a list of them. Do you have to pay for Word? And the answer is no. Let's see how we're doing in our Word document. It's up to, it's done. Okay. It's there. And you can see, like I said, speaker one, can I make this bigger? I don't know whether I can or not. No, that doesn't, yeah, let's see. Yeah. Okay, so you can see here. Am I going to be able to move down?
We're only seeing a blank screen in there, Huey.
I'm sorry?
We're only seeing a blank white screen
No.
in the document.
Oh, yeah, the document doesn't show it.
Yeah, because you have to add it to the document after you edit it.
Oh, I thought you were showing it. Okay, sorry.
Oh, okay. But if I go into speaker one, I can edit the transcript section. I can actually go in and edit that. Why can't I scroll down? Okay, so it's sitting having a, so you can actually edit the word. So if you hear it and it's not, so I'm going to click on this.
Having a,
so I can pause it, I can play it, I can listen to what's it's saying here, and if it's not the same, I can actually edit the words to it. And then, like I said, with speaker one, let's see, here's speaker 6. Let me make it smaller so we can see it. Okay, so we've got this here. So I'm going to take a look at speaker 12, edit it, and I can change any of the words in there. But you see where I can change that, and I can say, I don't know who it is, so let me listen to it.
just sitting having it, and you're recording it to the cloud, right?
Yeah.
Good. So we're sitting
Okay, I'm going to pause it. That's Ron.
having a little chat. If you have any questions or concerns about your Chromebook, or you want to see how to do something,
Pause. Okay, I am going to change that and say, okay, Ron is, whoops, I'm learning how to type. I'm going to say change all speaker 12. And what it will do is any place there's speaker 12, you'll see it. Should do it. Oh, I got to click the little check mark. Confirm. And now all the speaker 12s will change to Ron. So anytime.
Why is that? That's useful, really useful.
So every place that he speaks, it's going to have his name. That's wild. And then when you're all done, you say add to document, and it takes a little while. And depending on how long how long the transcript is, it will then put it in. Now, there is a way in which you can do that. When I click add to document, you want just the text, you want it with the speakers' names, you want it with the timestamps, or do you want it with speakers and timestamps? And then you just say add to document, and it adds it. And then you save it as a text, you save it as a Word document, and then you've got it. Isn't that great?
That's amazing technology. Really great.
It really is. And on that, let's stop the share a second. I just threw a lot at you, but if you didn't know that existed, now you know. And like I say, if you have a short meeting or a meeting you're a part of, and you need to make sure that all the information from that meeting is in the documentation, or somebody's taking notes, you can grab this and then go back and edit and make your own notes and double check and make sure you've got, that's what he said. And you can listen to it and then make sure that the words are correct, and then straighten them out. As I say, I use it for board meeting minutes. It's 90 pages long if they print it out. Our board meetings sometimes are about an hour long, and it can be as much as 90 minutes or 90 pages for an hour meeting. But all the information is there, and you don't have to sit there and retype it or listen and type while you're going.
So it's nice to have hard copy, because if you're looking for something, you don't want to have to try to listen in Mickey Mouse voice. You can thumb through and find the text you're looking for much more quickly, I guess.
You have
Or
the
do a
ability.
search. You do a search. Yeah.
Any comments or other comments or questions about that? If nothing else, maybe you learned something about that you had not realized you could do. And again, it's free. I say that the Office, the Word is free. I think the Transcribe, you have to have you've got to be a subscriber for Office 365, or now Microsoft 365, they're calling it. I think to do the Transcribe, you can dictate, you can use the dictate part, but Transcribe won't show up or it's grayed out. Any other comments? Okay. Let's go back to sharing my screen. How are we doing in time? About 15 more minutes. And how to connect. I'm not going to go into the how to circle text in Microsoft Word. It's a matter of how to use Word and then just how to do some circling and arrows and that sort of thing. I'll just show you the article. I'm not going to go in and show you how to do it. But you can use different shapes. And the one thing you want to do is you put the circle around it and then you make it transparent. And when you do, whatever's behind it will show through. And so then you've got a circle around what you want. If you don't make it transparent, it's going to be white or whatever color you tell it to be. And you won't be able to read the words underneath it. So you want to make it transparent. But it's a good article to have in your arsenal of articles. I'm not sure how you save articles. Some of you print them all out and have a great big pile on your desk, or you have folders, or you have them scattered all over your room or your office. I use Evernote, and I just save all of these things and put them in Evernote. And I have currently in my Evernote, I'm over 18,000 notes over the years, but it searches it instantly. And that's how I put these lists together with Evernote. I just say, okay, let me go down the articles for the last month and pick some out. And it tells me the link of the article and the name of it. And I make a list. And then I have a whole setup that I use Excel, and it creates the HTML for me. And I can just drop it right into my website. Okay. 50 plus security tips to protect yourself when browsing online. Let's take a look at this article and see what it is about. I'm not going to go through all 50 of them with you. This cheat sheet is available as a downloadable PDF from our distribution partner, TradePub. I think you might have to give them a name and a business name and an email address. I use a throwaway one for that sort of thing, and I get them. But here's what they are: for passwords, web browsing. Here's a tip: avoid obvious passwords that are easy to guess, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not only easy to guess, but the bad guys have software that they can take a 12 digit and alphanumeric password, and in a second figure out your password. It gives every possibility of it, and they try every one of them in a matter of seconds and can get into your account. So by taking two words that you might not normally use isn't protecting you any, because they've got programs that sort them all. And so sometimes putting a 0 instead of an O, that doesn't make any difference. They find it just as easy. So don't think you're fooling them. Make sure you mix these things up. Use two-factor authentication. Use a series of at least 4 unrelated words if you're going to do that. That makes it harder to crack. Alternatively, mix special characters, upper and lowercase, and have a minimum of 10 characters or more. Never use the same password twice. They should always be unique and unrelated. Having password 1, password 2 in the next instance, password 3 is not a good way to do it. And by password, I mean whatever you use. Just don't keep changing the number at the end. Web browsing, if you don't recognize a link, don't click it. I got another email today. I can't remember what it was now. It said, be careful of this link. It may be dangerous. And they put the link there. So I know a lot of people were curious. I'll click on it. And they got you. The dark web is full of scams and illegal activity, so avoid it. Only download from trusted providers. And watch the advertising. But some of these people are advertising stuff that it actually only comes from China. They make it look like the websites for the product are really slick. Some of them are really good. And then when you order it, if you get it at all, it could take 8 or 10 weeks on a slow boat from China. And that boat might be sitting out waiting to dock because there's no room. Comment, somebody? Okay. Antivirus. Every system is susceptible to viruses, but some are more than others. You don't need to pay. God, I hate these ads. They really get. So let's do it this way. Try to get them off of there. No, that didn't work. The easy way, let's try this. There we go. Web browsing. If you don't recognize a link, don't click on it. Check the lock icon in the address bar. That really doesn't help a whole bunch. There are ways where they can add that lock on there and it not mean anything. Social media. Social media is full of hoaxes and scams. Remain vigilant. If something sounds too good to be true, it is. Don't overshare. You don't know who's looking at your information or what they're doing with it. If you're showing a picture of your house and you say things are fine on Main Street, and there is your picture of your house with number 3247 on the front of the building, they know your address is 3247 Main Street. Or don't say, happy 17th birthday to my grandson. Well, all I got to do is subtract 17 from 2022, and they got the year your grandson was born. They know it's today's date. And if you put their name, Austin Healy, my grandson is Austin Healy, that's his name. His birthday, so now they got his name and they got his birthday. So everything they're doing to protect themselves, you just screwed up. So please be careful of stuff like that. Be vigilant, be thoughtful, and think before you share information. You don't need to pay for antivirus software. You can get Avast for free. Windows Security is a great built-in option. There's lots of ways to get it for free. I say that and I pay for the one I use. Don't store sensitive data in the cloud. Boy, that's something I don't adhere to. If you're done with a drive, investigate how to securely wipe it. Simply deleting the data isn't enough. If you buy a used computer, factory reset it and wipe it completely from top to bottom. And that means the drive, the information, because there might be a virus on there and you can't get rid of it. So be careful. Back up your data, at least 3 copies on 2 different types of media with one off-site. It's good. That's really good. Email sender can be spoofed. In other words, they can make it look like coming from somebody who it isn't. So that email might not be from who it claims to be. If you don't recognize the sender, not expecting the email, don't open it and just delete it. If an email asks you to click a link or open an attachment that seems suspicious, trust your instincts. Don't be inquisitive and delete it. If you're asked to share sensitive information, don't do it. Your bank, ISP, Amazon, and so on will never ask via email. Someone is trying to impose a sense of urgency for you to do something, it's probably a scam. That long lost relative who has died and wants to leave you a bundle of money, it's fake. Delete the email. They're not going to send it to you by email. Your spam filter offers some protection, but it isn't foolproof, so don't assume everything in your inbox is safe. Keep your software up to date. A lot of people don't like updating because they don't know what it's going to do, or something's not going to work when they update it. The operating system needs to be updated, but most of the updates are security reasons for the update. And so please update, keep it up to date. If it looks like it's something you're not sure of, if it's a Windows update, and boy, they can screw things up sometimes, do a backup before you do the update and make sure that backup is secure. Make sure before you do the update, double check and make sure that your backup works, that you can get the files from your backup. Right, Steve? If you no longer need software, uninstall it completely. Don't install random browser extensions and only use those from trusted publishers. If you're not using them, delete them, uninstall them. Smartphones, there's some good things there too. This is a good article to share with other people as well. We'll stop to share. I know, Bob, you have any comments about some of those things? I thought there were some pretty good things in that article. It's a good article.
All good advice.
I have one comment. I have read that changing your passwords all the time isn't really a good idea if you use strong passwords. All it does is help you forget them.
That's correct.
Even, LastPass is a nice backup, but still, the change isn't necessarily a good idea.
If it's a strong password, if you have no indication that it's been hacked, there's no reason to change it. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Banks, quite often, some of them will only allow you to use a password for a certain length of time, and then they insist that you change your password. So there you have no choice.
And don't use the same password in more than one location.
Of course, of course.
But we say of course, but I bet if we did a formal survey of everybody that's on here today, at least one, and probably many, would say, oh yeah, I use the same password, more than once.
Yep.
Yeah, and those are easy for you to say, Yui. Those of us who help other people when they go into their homes and we ask them, what's your password? They have a list of about 5 passwords, and they use those 5 for everything. And there's only a couple of numbers difference between one and another. It's the same word, or a different version of that word with a different number at the end of it or the beginning of it.
Like Aero Pilot 3, Aero 3 Pilot, 3 Aero Pilot. You know, and they think, oh, I'm putting numbers in there, okay, and oh, I've got to use a character, okay, Aero Pilot 3 exclamation mark, and it, you know, I mean, the bad guys figure that out right away.
But they have computers that figure it out.
Yeah.
They're not that smart, but they have computers that do.
Yeah.
Stephen, you have your hand up.
Yeah, only marginally related, but we all heard recently our government said the Russians are hackers are invading our systems, and certainly that's true. But really interesting is that our own cyber team, anti-hacking cyber team, had been tracking them. They actually went into many corporations surreptitiously and removed the implanted, whatever it is, the seed, whatever the hackers used, without telling the corporations, which I think is just amazing. In other words, it saved a lot of trouble, but that just goes to show you how much access our own government has, for good reasons, to remove those embedded spyware. So I don't know if you heard that was in the news recently, and I was just blown away.
Yeah, and a lot of the bad actors that may be in Russia or wherever, they may not be government people. They're just, some of them are just kids that are pretty smart and pretty bright, and they get in there and they like to have fun. And some of them are making a lot of money with the ransomware.
That's right. They're kind of independent contractors, I think. And we do the same thing, by the way. We hired a bunch of kids that had broken into, computers, and part of the way they could repay, let's say, is go to work for our government.
Then they become what is called an ethical hacker.
That's right.
White hacker.
A white hacker, yes.
Ted, you have your hand up.
Me?
Yeah, your hand is up. You got a question? Comment?
Well, yeah, I do, but I take it you're using 11, right, today?
I'm using what?
Windows 11.
On the computer that I'm on currently, yes.
Okay. Is it still free for download?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
And
Any computer you have, Ted, it won't. I know your computers. It won't run on your computers.
oh, okay.
And it won't run on your iPad either.
No, I figured that.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, Ted. 10 will work until 2025. And in fact, it'll work after that. It just won't update.
By then, Microsoft probably will have eased the requirements to get into 11.
No, by then they'll have released 12 or 13.
Yeah, or then your computer won't work anymore anyway.
By then, some of us won't be working anymore.
Any other questions, comments? It's quarter till. So let me share my screen. This has been the Sunday, April 10th, 2022 Windows Special Interest Group, or WinSIG, from the Central Florida Computer Society. Glad that you joined us. For those of you who want to, you can stay on. And for those of you in the watching this recording, you're not going to see, but the main meeting of the Central Florida Computer Society will follow this meeting. So I am going to stop the recording and figure out how.